Hi guys, so in last week's video I turned all these lovely Warhammer 40K sprues that you guys have been sending in, so keep sending them in guys because I do need loads more, into this lovely gargantuan swig of. Really pleased with how he came out. Obviously love the texture of the skin and all the metal work, and yeah, really pleased with this dude. This dude is back on eBay if you want to buy him. Somehow the buyer didn't get in contact, didn't pay for him. But in this week's video, I'm going to show how I turned these simple sprues into this, a lovely 97 Thunderhawk. Originally made from metal. Obviously mine isn't, so mine is definitely a lot lighter. Again, this will be on eBay as well. My eBay link is down below, guys. So everything I sort of make these days probably will end up on there. If you want to buy it, well, if you're nuts to buy it. So yeah, so this is entirely made from sprues. There's nothing else gone into this. Yeah, it's just sprues, glue, and, well, some paint thrown over the top. So, starting with always, whenever I do make these kind of things, I work from a reference picture that I get off Google, and I try and print it out to the exact scale I need. Very difficult finding the size of this thing online. There's only one sort of number that I kept sort of coming up with, or kept seeing. So that's how big this thing is. Does feel a bit bigger than it should do, but nevertheless, we'll carry on. And obviously, most of the things I make, yeah, good old framework on the inside. Say, if nothing else, use sprues to make frameworks for buildings or vehicles or whatever. So to make it easier for myself, as you can see, drawing the lines so I can sort of see what kind of framework I want to make. Because the main thing I want to make is, when I do make the framework, is make it strong and sturdy, just so it doesn't collapse in on itself. So yeah, the more the merrier when it comes to doing frames. Obviously sprues, yeah, nice and easy to cut. So trying to cut the ends, not quite 45 degrees, but give a bit of an angle so they butt up together a lot nicer and give the desired sort of angle effect there. So there we go, got it on some greaseproof paper, because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill these panels in with some Mark 1 sprue goo. If you don't know about what the Mark 1, Mark 2 and Mark 3 differences is, there was a video I did, well, a few days ago, showing the difference between the different sort of sprue goos that I use. So yeah, go check that out. So yeah, rather than making sort of flat panels and then cutting them up and then sort of filling them in, what I'm now doing is when I make the framework, I can actually fill in the panels straight away. As you can see, yeah, I've gone from using that small little tool to a much larger tool. Again, this is a silicone sort of rubber tool. Sprue goo sticks to everything. Hence the reason why I've got this on some greaseproof paper and using the silicone stuff. So I started making it up, but then it just felt like it was too big. So I went and watched one of Squidmar's, one of his videos, and yeah, so what I've done is I looked at his video, I saw the size of that eagle, and then resized the ship to, well, to the size of that eagle. And as you can see, it's much smaller. So what I'm going to do now is, well, I can get some clippers and cut this down. But then I thought, nah, that's going to be too messy. It'll be much easier just making a new framework. So this is what I always say, guys. When you're making things, if things don't go well or you're not happy with something, stop, change it. Because otherwise, if you don't do that and you just carry on, when you get to the end, you'll be like, oh, I wish I had changed it because now I don't like what I've done. So same thing again. Obviously, yeah, I've got the panels. I've got the framework. These are going to be the wings. So the wings do have this rounded edge on them. And again, using sort of silicone molds, you can make molds, well, you can make molds of all kinds of stuff using good old sprue goo. Not perfect, but not too bad. Although we will make this better by using sprue goo Mark 2. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go and check out my recent video all about sprue goo. This one is sprue goo Mark 3. Basically, it's the stuff that I put in with them. So it's acetone in sprue goo Mark 1 and Mark 3. This one's got acetone in it, but it's 99.5%. For some reason, this leaves the sprue goo more like a kind of, well, plasticine. So it's a lot easier, it dries a lot quicker. And yeah, so I'm using this to fill in with the panels. Again, say, because it dries so much quicker than the Mark 1 sprue goo. But still gives it a nice, relatively sort of smoothish look, which is pretty cool. But again, in a minute, you'll see me using sprue goo Mark 2. I hope I don't make any more sprue goos because it's getting difficult remembering which one I use. So say these are about sort of 7 hours later, so they've kind of dried. These are still soft though. Yeah, sprue goo, it takes I don't know, at least 2 days, if not more, to like fully re-harden back to being plastic, and for any of the acetone in there to dissolve. So as you can see, yeah, one side nice and smooth, the side that's gone down onto the greaseproof paper. The other side, yeah, it gives it that sort of skin texture. Again, that worked really, really well for that squig off. Having that skin texture was awesome, because obviously, well, it looked like elephant kind of skin. So yeah, you're still going to get little potholes on pitting here and there. That's basically where the acetone evaporates, and yeah, it leaves little sort of, well, little pockets of nothingness. So I know people do sort of leave comments about, oh, can you sort of shake the stuff, get an agitator, or maybe even one of those the old like chambers that suck out all the air. Would that help? I'm kind of thinking possibly not, because it's not really pockets of air, it's pockets where there's a build-up of acetone, and then that stuff finally sort of evaporates to leave little gaps. So say these haven't come out too bad, but this is where good old Mark II. So this has got butyl acetate in it. Again, all these stuff, guys, they are chemicals, so use them at your own discretion with your own health and safety. Typically, I do this with a door right beside me that's open. If I use a lot of this butyl one, I will go outside and use it, because this one is so much stronger than the acetone, and you don't want to be breathing this in small confined spaces. But again, guys, I'm not your mum. You take your own health and safety sort of concerns when you're doing anything in this hobby, or anything in life really. So there we go, it's got the Mark II all over it, and as you can see, yeah, that side's still rough, but you're not going to see that one. The other side, yeah, it's pretty smooth, which is pretty cool. Obviously very shiny, but don't worry, obviously when we come to paint this, I'm using a nice matte colour, and that gets rid of any of that sort of shine. So again, working on the thesis of making a framework, I've now got the two halves of my my Thunderhawk. It is a case of, yeah, making the framework to go in the middle. Again, I am working off pictures that I find on Google, because obviously I don't have a 97 Thunderhawk in front of me to sort of, well, to copy. So I am doing my best to recreate this from what I can see on good old Google. Yeah, so the front bit, it does seem to be angled in a little bit. So yeah, just cutting that. And then again, making the framework, rather than doing the sides at the top, snip a little bit off, just so I know that the front end does come in a little bit. So guys, next week I'll be using the good old sprues to make some terrain bits. So let me know in the comments what kind of terrain you may want to see me make for next week's video. And obviously, yeah, if there's something you want to see me make, well, just in general, by all means let me know. Yes, I don't mind making small things or like these, some bigger things. Yeah, it's just fun seeing what is achievable using using sprues. So keep an eye out for obviously all the videos coming up. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you are new here, especially obviously if you do want to see more of these sprue videos. I do general painting videos of miniatures as well. Apologies for those that I know will want to see some of those. I haven't done much sort of painting of miniatures recently. Main reason is these projects with the sprues, they do take a long time to make. Yeah, a lot longer than I'd sort of hope really, because this is another big project, pretty much like the squig off, and yeah, probably not far off the 100 hours to make this, because there was a lot of waiting time as well, from making panels, making bits, and having them go back to being sort of, well, hard plastic. So yeah, got loads more. Obviously, these outer edge of the sprues. There was another video as well, guys, showing how obviously to make the sprue goo. And what I sort of first do when I get the sprues, I cut out the outer edges, keep them separate, just because obviously they're great for the frameworks, and all the inner bits of the sprue, yeah, they're generally sort of cut up and put in the glass jars with the acetone to turn into yeah, good old sprue glue, or goo even. Oh, and talking about subscribing, guys, as you can probably see, yeah, I am so near to the 100k subscriber mark. I think I need, as of recording this video, about 480 odd subscribers. So guys, if you can share this video with everyone and anyone, get all your friends, colleagues, workmates, your nan to subscribe. Yeah, I can't wait to hit that magic number of 100,000 subscribers. Anyway, as you can see there, yeah, doing some more panels. So sometimes I do make the flat panels out of sprue goo. Again, these are simply made by putting between two sheets of greaseproof paper, then getting a rolling pin and, well, rolling it out. And then, well, then leaving it for a good sort of couple of days. It then goes nice and hard, and you get, yeah, sprue panels. So these are easy enough to sort of cut up. So there's a great thing with this sprue stuff. It is still relatively soft unless you make this sort of like 20 millimeters thick. And if you did, well, it would take months and months for it to dry. But yeah, so just using normal scissors, easy to cut. Again, whenever you make the sprue panels, you're always going to get one side that's going to be nice and smooth, and the other side is definitely going to be more textured. So try and use the smoother side up, unless you're making a squig off, and then yeah, you want to get those creases into it. So the basic shape is coming along nicely. This is starting to sort of firm up and harden, and yeah, this is a nice sort of solid kind of kind of build. So it's just a case of putting the wings on. One thing I am doing different here, I guess, from what most of my videos are, I normally start from the sort of bottom and work my way up, and that is sort of building the feet or the structure at the bottom and then building upwards. But say, because this is a bit different, yeah, the legs or the landing gear on this one, probably one of the last things that I kind of make. So I've got my wings there. They are sort of attached or glued in there with some cement glue. But again, using the good old sprue goo, I know a lot of you guys have been using this stuff for years because it is a great filler. So filling in any gaps, nooks, crannies, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, this is perfect for the miniatures because obviously it is, well, it's the same sort of stuff your miniatures are made of. Again, a great way of using all those well, unwanted, unused, maybe even unloved sprues. As we take all the miniatures off, paint them up, or sometimes we do, and yeah, we have loads of these left over. So again, guys, some of the things I'm making do require a lot of sprues. I do still want to make a big Titan, and that is going to use an absolute shed load of sprues. That will probably be made in several sections because, well, it is just so big. So yeah, guys, my my email is down below in the description. If you do have any unwanted sprues you want to send me, yeah, get in contact and send them my way because I would certainly make use of them. So with the landing gear, yeah, I'm making the feet up and usual sort of thing, get the sprues, glue them together, and then put Sprue Goo Mark II over the top just to sort of smooth things out. Absolutely love using that stuff now because it is it's a great way of making, well, the panels and everything just looks so much better, so much neater, smoother, and obviously less looking like they are sprues. So when you look at this sort of vehicle at the end, it is kind of like difficult, especially say some of my friends have come around, had a look, and I've sort of said, oh yeah, I've made this out of sprues. And they're like, huh? How do you do that? And it's a case of, well, go and watch my videos and you'll soon see. So yeah, with the little landing gear, again, like most things when you're making things with sprues, it is just a case of keep adding bits, and, well, adding bits really. So in my head, I kind of sort of see what I want to make, then try and break it down into the smaller sort of components, and then make each component up. Yeah, and obviously in this case, glue it all together. As well as letting me know in the comments, guys, what you'd like to see me make out of sprues. Yeah, I'm also interested to hear what you guys have made. Yeah, it's always fun to sort of see what can be made with sprues, whether it is sort of intricate, detailed sort of things, or just nice, simple, say, terrain bits. I've done a few terrain videos and, well, basing videos out of sprues. So yeah, I'm going to do one next week and make something, yeah, some sort of, well, I'm not too sure what terrain I'm going to make yet. So guys, yeah, if there's any terrain you want to see me make, by all means let me know. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys have made. I say silicone molds, I'm starting to get more of these because these just work so well for making bits and pieces. And I've started getting quite a collection of, well, a bits box. Well, I've got loads of bits boxes now. A whole variety of things that I'm making in molds, just so that when I do start making sort of projects, I have loads of things already made. Because this obviously just helps save on time. I say all these bits that I turn into sprue goo, yeah, they take days and days to fully harden. But the great stuff is though, when they do fully harden, yeah, these things can easily be cut, drilled, sanded, all the rest, because it does turn back into, well, the nice sort of hard plastic that the sprues were originally. So to take an example, this little bit, yeah, this has had a good few days of drying. So yeah, it is now nice and easy, well, relatively easy, to sort of cut out with a good old scalpel, making sure not to cut my fingers, because, well, I do have quite a few little battle wounds, little scars here and there, where I've, yeah, as always, you meant to sort of use a scalpel away from your fingers. Sometimes though, yeah, you have to go towards your fingers because it's just easier, if not a little bit dangerous. So yeah, again, building this thing up using more sort of little panels and little sprues that I've glued together, just to make obviously the cockpit window here. Again, so a lot of this is kind of eyeballing. So I printed out the side-on view of this. I have got another reference picture from the front. But yeah, try to find sort of decent reference pictures. Sometimes it's so difficult. So guys, yeah, if there's something you want to see me build or make, if you can send me links to some decent sort of reference pictures, and more importantly as well, the size of certain things, as I want to try and recreate things the exact size they are. But sometimes Google, well, it has different sizes, or it has different people's opinions on what things are and the sizes. Again, this Thunderhawk, obviously there's a few varieties of this as well, because you can get a 3D printed one. So say this is the one back from '97, so originally made from metal. As I did recently watch Squidmar Miniatures and him building and assembling his one. I think I'll probably easier to assemble mine, as he seemed to have a lot of problems with things not quite matching up. There'd been no pins in anything, and in fact it was all metal. So trying to sort of assemble metal pieces that may have warped a little bit difficult. So yes, I think mine was a lot easier to put together. Well, I'm sure mine probably still took just the same amount of time as his, as yeah, these builds are very time consuming. So again, more bits that I've used for molds. Molds are just awesome. Because of molds, you really can make anything and everything. Again, it's the last few sort of bits going on. These are like little wings and a bit of the back. Again, just made using the sprues to make frames, and then using the old sprue goo in the middle of it, and then coating it in sprue goo Mark II. So say there's a bit of a formula going on now when I make these panels, just because this does make panels, well, a whole lot smoother than when I used to sort of do sprue builds about 4 years ago. I used to do quite a lot of sprue builds. Yeah, so the things I'm making now are definitely a lot smoother and neater. Unless, say, I want to make the sort of terrain looking bits, or even the scaly looking bits for the creatures. So yeah, guys, I know I keep saying it, but yeah, do let me know in the comments when you'll see me make, as I have quite a few ideas of what I want to make. But it's always interesting to hear what you say, because quite often you'll come up with something that I've not seen or not heard of, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the engine bit, yeah, that's made from mold, and the round bits, or the half round bits on the top, yeah, again, simple molds. So it's great. This flexi mold, you'll see me use it in a recent video. Awesome stuff. That's that brown looking sort of mold there, because it's reusable. So it's great for making greebly bits, because I can cast bits, or I can mold bits, cast bits, but then reuse the mold to then sort of remold or recast other bits and pieces. So that's why, again, I always sort of say this, but I think you really can make absolutely anything using sprues. Say the fact that you can put this stuff in a mold and make things. Obviously, you can't make things too intricate. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to make a mold of a miniature. Basically because obviously the sprue goo, as liquidy as it can get, I can't inject it into a mold. Even the stuff with the butane stuff, yeah, it's still not liquidy enough to sort of be pushed or inserted into something. Although saying that, I might give it a go. Just because sometimes you never know unless you sort of really try. So yeah, it's coming along really well. Really pleased with how it looks. Love the fact obviously it's the right kind of size as well, which is pretty cool. And say these are the molds. Yeah, so I did cheat on this bit. I did 3D print the piece and then make the mold. I put my hands up to that. But what can I do? I say I didn't have one of these to hand because, well, why would I have a double-headed eagle? I have no idea. So yeah, this bit was cheated. I 3D printed a bit, but then made a mold, and then made obviously a couple of these, one to go either side, and also made this smaller one to go at the front. Again, not perfect, but considering this is made from sprues, yeah, it's not too bad either. So a lot of you guys have recently been asking, can you put sprue goo in a large syringe and sort of inject it and stuff? I'm not sure about the injecting and stuff, but as you can see, I've got a large syringe. I've got the sprue goo Mark 1. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some nice sort of thin, round sort of bits. I'm going to use this for the back part of the engine. So as you can see, I've got a good old coat hanger. Just so I can have this stuff hanging off this. Because say this stuff will take a good 7 hours or more to dry. And yeah, you can simply squeeze the sprue goo out of the syringe to try and make some sort of thin, round sort of, well, hoses, tubes, wires, whatever it is you might sort of want them for. So yeah, these were left overnight, kind of dried. They are still relatively soft, which is good because then they do still sort of bend. So you can bend them round things if you need to. Again, just another way of using sprues to make, well, bits and pieces you may need for whatever it is you're building. So these are just going to go on the back part. Some of these have come out nice and round. Some have come out almost like there's like two sort of small wires together, which is still good because this works really well for, well, where they're going on the back part of the engine. So the build's almost done now, but before I show you the sort of the full reveal and we get into painting, so I'll say a big shout out and thank you to Green Stuff World. As while I was making this build, they sent me a lovely big box full of bits and pieces. So lots more paints, which I absolutely love. And these are obviously the dipping inks. So these work really, really well. You'll see me use these quite a lot. Something I love now, this flexi mold. Yeah, you'll be seeing me use a lot of this to make, well, greeblies up. And obviously cast lots of stuff in sprues. Some paints, some brushes, which is awesome. But also these modular set boxes. And these are great because, say, I've got a lot of extra little bits of sprues. I'm trying to make up loads of bits to keep, and say just to make it easier for me to sort of well, to make things. So these little boxes, yeah, don't take too long at all to assemble. Simple little instructions. All you need is a bit of PVA glue or wood glue, whichever. Well, the same thing, really, aren't they? Just called it different things. And yeah, assemble these boxes, which I say didn't take too long at all. So Green Stuff World sent me 6 of these, which is absolutely awesome because it does mean, well, I've got lots more compartments and storage to put everything in, and you'll see that in just a second. So I will leave links down below so you can get hold of any sort of Green Stuff World things you might need. But so yeah, these little boxes, and this is what I want them for. Bits of sprue stuff. So as you can see, this one, it's got all kinds of round bits. Again, these are all made from silicone molds. Leave the stuff in, it comes out like this. I made some corrugated sort of card looking things with the sprue panels as well. Obviously I like to make things nice and neat on my desk. I've sprayed everything in black, but yeah, now I've got lots of compartments to keep all the bits and pieces in. And this is it, guys. This is how this thing looks unpainted. Yeah, really pleased with how this came out. These are the kind of projects though that you could keep going and add in little bits, add in little bits, add in little bits. Sometimes you have to sort of get to a stage where you think, yeah, I'm happy with this, it doesn't need any more. Because otherwise, well, I could be spending months and months and months on one thing. So using the Colour Forge matte primers, I've been using these now for well over 2 years. Absolutely love them because they live up to their name. They are matte black or matte, whatever colour. You'd have seen those storage units I did. They were sprayed with a matte black. So say MDF you can spray perfectly as well. So the colours, yeah, there's not too many colours in this bad boy. Again, that's why obviously I primed this in the red. Because, well, that's the bulk of the colour. There's just a few little bits to paint sort of here and there. As you see, I showed you the colours there that I'm using. Didn't take too long, obviously, to paint this because, yeah, there's not a lot to it. A few little hazard stripes on the side. I almost went with a wash over everything. I did really well and didn't do that because, obviously, I didn't want this to look too dirty. So I've only done washes over any bits that are, well, metallic looking, just because otherwise they are too shiny, and yeah, I don't like that. So the thrusters, they've obviously got that sort of burnt metal or heated metal look, so I'm going to have a go at trying to do that myself. And yeah, again, this is where the dipping inks really well, because they are very, well, they're not translucent, but you obviously can still see the colour underneath. So using these in quick succession, so they haven't really dried, just because I kind of want them to sort of blur into each other, just to give the effect of getting sort of like hot to then even hotter. And then the last thing to do, yeah, all the black bits, I'm just going to go around doing a little bit of dry brushing with some silver, just because otherwise, well, they just kind of looked too black. So yeah, that black stuff and green stuff, well, the Max Darth, the blackest black, yeah, it is black. And there we go, that's it finished. And yeah, really pleased about this one's come out. So a relatively simplish build, took a long time because, well, things with sprues generally do take a long time. But yeah, really pleased with how this came out. So guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, share, leave comments, all that wonderful stuff. Let me know what you're working on, and let me know what you may want to see in the next videos. So don't forget guys, this thing was made 100% from these sprues, nothing else at all. And yeah, I'm pleased with how this looks. So don't forget, there's also my link to eBay down below. If you are interested in this or the Squiggoth, yeah, I say anything else I kind of build, I will be sort of putting on there as well. And so next week's video probably will be some sort of terrain, a nice and simple, quick and easy terrain to make. So yeah, give that a click as well. Big shout out to all my lovely patrons for helping support the channel. It really does mean so much, because obviously it means I can be a big kid and keep making these videos. So like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that good stuff. See you in the next one. Bye now.